on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of, I almost called it World Makers Consortium. My goodness. Famine Studios Live. We are here on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we're not. We go, like I said, we go live every Tuesday. Sometimes we do late night Friday streams. This month, it seems like the theme has been trash bashing. We are building things with trash. I have been working away during the week on and off on this amazing build entirely out of scraps. Like, this was all garbage. The only thing that's new are these pieces from a Jason Jensen Trains kit. They were extra pieces that I had that I decided to utilize for this. So if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe anyway. You might find something that you like. So I wanted to kick off the show with a great, big, gigantic thank you to my patrons, which you guys know I just launched this week. We're doing well. I have a few people that subscribed already, and we will say hi to people in the chat. But first, I want to give a shout out to Bjorn, who was my first patron. Thank you again, Bjorn. We've also got Steven Tier. I think I saw him in the chat. If not, he will be in. And I also want to say thank you to Task Force Wombat. The support helps. Like, that was a huge motivator for me to see I have new patrons, and there is also a free tier. So please go check out Patreon. Even if you follow me on the free tier, it's great. It's a great way to keep up with things when sometimes YouTube and Instagram don't necessarily show you things in chronological order. And yeah, go ahead and sign up over there, and you'll get my stuff in chronological order. And I think you do get email alerts too. So that's another way to help out the channel. So let's see who's in the chat room tonight. We've got Bjorn coming in hot. Hang on one second here. Sir Stark, leave your mom's eyeball alone. Mama Rosie had a little work done yesterday, and somebody helped themselves to her. Stark is trying to help himself to her eyeball. So Task Force Figures and Games. Thank you. Thank you. I do have a show tonight. You are here for that show. This guy keeps showing up. I see him on World Makers Consortium. I see him on Famine Studios when Famine goes live. This Famine Studios guy, he says, slap that like button when you get here. I guess that works. That counts, right? Hit that thing, tickle the button. See if it works. You go, it's right in the middle. You just a couple of times, you know what I'm talking about. And, oh, yes, I did. I had to drop in the chat. There is the Patreon link. I pinned it right there. So if you guys want to support that, you know where to find us. We've got Rad here from Rad Toys Galaxy, the host with the most of the WMC, over on his channel. Also, if you want to see insane world building, go check out his channel. Watch some of his videos. It's Bananas also over on Instagram. He's got him up as well. Building is dope. We're getting there. We're going to work on that a little more tonight. Love you too, Mickey. I'm glad to see you made it in for a stream. All right. So let's take care of... Let's see. We got Anthony coming in hot. Gorgeous Nerds. Speaking of Gorgeous Nerds, great segue. I didn't even pay him for that. I'm going to go ahead and some of my friends picked up shirts this week, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to show off my gorgeous friend here, Miss Julia. Nope, that's me. That's me in the shirt. Let's get Anthony off the screen. That is me in the shirt. She is far more better looking in the shirt than I am. Get your Rusty Jackalope shirts. They are in the description. You can click on the link and follow it there to get yours. If you sign up to them for like text messages or emails or something, they give you a 30% off coupon. It's a great way to, load up on your favorite stuff. You can support us. You can also support WMC over on there. Go to Rad Toys channel. But yeah, way better looking than me. Looks great in the shirt. That's in the blue, super soft. That's me in the regular cut, yellow color that I like for this. So go check it out. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get that ugly guy off the screen here. Let's see. Looks great. Phone is turned on now. I don't know what to do. Well, don't eat it. That's for starters. Don't eat your phone. So before we get started on the building, because we are going to jump right into that, I wanted to show off some stuff. I already opened the box. I know it's kind of like a tease. It says, unboxing in the video title, but, I have to, do that, or YouTube is like, maybe don't go watch his video. So I opened up a package I got from Aegis this week, and we got some of his wonderful, beautiful little slime creatures with their dead, lifeless eyes. I think these things are great. They're like Nickelodeon slime green, and I love them very much. And they're going to live as a pair in Gimmick. maybe they'll make their way around. And then not to be outdone, I know you guys had seen some of the doors that I've gotten from Age Station, and we're definitely going to go ahead and check out the newest ones that he sent over. So I got 4 of each of these, and he sent over this one here. Let's see. Car says he made it. What's up, guys? Right, and so we've got this door right here. I love this. It's got the double split with like the channels on the door, the little panel there. You could add a button or, whatever you want to do, just paint a different color. Flat on the back so that it sits nicely up against the wall. And the reason I got so many is because I'm going to be doing these as levels of like a cliff marketplace. Boom. I got a doorway there. Alternatively, when I put the backing, boom, I can put a doorway there and a doorway there, in and out. So I got 4 of those. I highly recommend them. They are easy to, they're already cleaned up. They're easy to just seal up and paint. So I got 4 of those ones. And then I got myself 4 of his new round door. Said he was inspired by the door in the premiere of The Mandalorian. So I'm excited about those. And again, they've got this extra detail, recessed panels, button panels, and grooves. It's different. People aren't really making rounded doors. So check those bad boys out again. Flat. They've got his AS mark, Age of Station, right up against your flat surface. They're really good. They're low profile, so they don't stick out too much, but you still get the depth. I'm looking forward to using these. So we got that fun stuff out of the way. Let's see. We got some folks now that popped in. All right. So Red says they're cool. They look like a microwave ghost from Pac-Man. I've never had a microwave ghost. I've had a microwave marshmallow before. I'd eat a ghost. I don't care. Get in a spoon and a bowl, something. Just all right. 3.7. All right, we can start, guys. 3.75 made it in. Glad you can make it, my friend. And then we've got TAR, like you said, he popped in. Hello. And says, little slime dude. Oh, the slime guys. Yes, I did suggest that he should make 118 brain slugs from Futurama. I could. Could you imagine if I did the entire stream like this and just said nothing about it? Just didn't address it at all. Just, continue talking, working on my world. It'd be wild. I thought you were saying the doors look like microwave ghosts. Hello. All right, so let's take a look at what I did this week. If you've been following on Patreon, I have been posting pretty much damn daily updates of what I've been doing on here. And let's see, we've got, I think on Friday's live stream, I did show you guys I had sealed this up with Mod Podge. I can't remember if I had added these on here yet. And since Friday's live stream was a landmark success, my God, y'all turned out for some Mothman. That's why he's chilling right back up there, a little plushy Mothman. You guys showed up. So thank you for that. We will be doing cryptids at least twice a month on Fridays. I'm excited about that. But I use Jason Jensen panels to add like shutters, just something that, creates an illusion of more value, more put togetherness. Is that a phrase? People worked harder on this than it just suddenly appears to be. And I did some brickwork on the inside of this. So again, it's fitting into that world, fitting into that lore that I used where people use the bricks from the temple and the surrounding buildings. There's a reverence that they treat these things with. They don't just smash up the bricks and pour it into new concrete and use it. They try and reuse these things, especially the settlers. They have a really high reverence for it. And even people who travel through, they know it's bad juju to mess with these things. Thank you. And yes, you guys, on Friday, you did bring friends. So thank you very much. I appreciated having somebody who's like an expert on that sort of thing to come in and chat and help tell the tale and help shed a little light on the creepy factor. All right, coming together. Thank you. And yes, smack that like button. Just, again, just tickle it a little bit. Tickle a little bit. See if it works. It works. I also did some brickwork on the back of this here. I did some almost like patio stones out of foam. Just something different texture than this. And today we're going to work on the piece that is going in here. And we're probably going to get that glued in and then greebly it with some more trash and stuff. So I'm going to set this out of the way and show you what I plan on working with. So I've got, I've been building this on different videos. I'm going to bring the camera down to it, make life a little easier. Pop off in the chat if you could see that. But I've been making this basically, I'm going to call it a Kirby or a Crackle engine, or like a Crackle disposal unit or something, Kirby disposal unit. Basically, these are going to be sporadically throughout the mountain paths, and they're just a place for people to burn their trash into energy. If your dinosaur takes a hot dump, or your kid throws garbage on the ground, or your Starship trash, you go to empty it, you just pop this little door open, throw it in there, smack the button, and the generator burns it up, and it adds a little bit of energy to the stores that are all over. And then I've got this cover here, and I know you can't really see the Kirby Crackle that's in there. This is literally just a proof of concept that I could do it, but also it's just more for me than anything. But that'll go in there, and then this piece will actually sit like I was showing you. It'll go, and it actually can glue in perfectly into here, covering all that empty space up, and just adds more value with trash to it. So I'm liking that. I like that idea. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And we're also probably going to be focusing a little bit on getting some greeblies back in here, maybe on the posts, some wires, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. All right. So what I want to do first before I paint that grate is I want to go around this exterior with a black, just a flat black to get a base color on. I'll probably do the bottom too, just to get a full seal around. And then we will start putting paint colors on it. I'm thinking a black and white caution yellow stripe, just so that it looks like industrial. It really adds the industry feel. Throw it over there. Also, one thing I'm really proud of is the handle is made from toothpicks. And that's Wally's little garbage port there. So my little homage to Wally's trash cube thing. Boys and girls, what are you doing in there? These dogs. I love them. They like to fight with each other. And is anybody else working on anything today? If you are, feel free to sound off in the chat. So I'd like to hear, and we can chit chat about what you're working on as well. And for when I'm doing my base coats of darks and stuff, I just use regular matte black craft paint from Plaid. It's $1.98 for a big bottle like this. It lasts me. You can thin it down. And see, kids, that's why we don't wear our nice shirt when we stream, because I did that. And yes, this is a painting shirt, as most of mine are. The Wally panel, I have another one. Anthony said I should mold and cast. I'm presuming he means the Wally piece before I glue it down permanently. It's already glued in place. Damn, why am I having such trouble with my hands today? That's what you get for working 9 years in culinary and 9 years in aerospace, is you use tools and they wreck your hands and then you struggle to hold things. It's fun. And yes, doing the dishes does count as crafting. Just if you pretend it does. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just put down a base coat on here, some dark. That way, anything that we weather on here or dry brush afterwards has black underneath it in case it chips off. It's already been Mod Podge. That is one thing that I did, was just really seal that up. Tars, hello. So I would, but I don't want to. I have so many of the pieces that are here. Like I said, I will cast the Wally chess piece, though. I do have another one, but I've got so many of these pieces that I use from Jason Jensen kits to make the frame that I can just continue to use those. I don't need to make them too deep. That one's doubled up, but I have, let's see, I think I purchased 4 of those kits so far. So I have like 8 of them on top of this one that I can make 8 different things. So I think I'm set on that. The door was just 3 or 4 simple panels. You're right, it would be good to cast it, but I don't need to. I'll be all right. It's extra work for me. I don't want extra work. But like I was saying, I did Mod Podge the whole thing before I started putting any of this paint on. And we'll do the bottom too. Even though the bottom will likely not be seen, it's good to just have it in case, taking pictures at a low angle, you might catch it. You don't want it to look like cardboard. Okay. There we go. Driving earlier, now we can properly say hi. I did do the artwork. I'll show you that in just a second here. Good call out. I guess, yeah, you guys weren't here when I was painting that. If you were, I was painting it a little bit on the World Makers Consortium and a little bit on the after show talk. But yeah, I just did some Kirby crackle in there, layered upon layers of blended craft paint to just get that eerie energy effect looking, and then just did my little Kirby crackle bubbles. Yeah. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad somebody noticed and that I was able to share that with you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And as you can see or can't tell, I'm actually going into the lip on here, just again, putting a coat of paint on there. It's already been Mod Podged. I just want to make sure that that's all covered up so you can't see like the cereal Texas Toast advertisement on it. Texas Toast, that's right. And yes, this is being built primarily out of a Texas Toast box, so you can quite literally use trash, and that is what I am doing. I'm using garbage for as much as I can because it saves money, it encourages creativity, and also I want people to understand you can absolutely do this world building for cheap. It does not have to be an expensive hobby. You don't have to, I'm not saying don't spend your money where you want to spend it. I will always encourage you guys to spend money on independent creators, but you don't have to buy everything from Empire Toy Works. You don't have to buy everything from other makers. You don't have to buy everything from Hasbro. You can make your own play sets, diorama pieces, and things like that out of household stuff. This is a way for me to communicate that to you, and also it's like a way to make it's a way to make your own thing. It's more fun when it's an expensive hobby. That's fine. Give me your money. I can make this hobby as expensive as you want. More money means it's more better. Yeah, that's unfortunately that's the mentality that some people have about spending on toys, and I haven't figured that one out yet myself, but more power to them. And like I said, support your independent artists. Absolutely support people in your community, but also know that you can do this on your own. You can work on things. You can do it for yourself. You can DIY some of it and have fun. If you've got nieces or nephews, sons or daughters, kids that, are in your family or your friends' kids that you go and hang out with on the weekends and stuff with them, and you want to do arts and crafts or they want to work on something for their toys. Hell yeah, man. I wish I was doing this stuff way more than I was as a kid. Like, I'm sure everybody did it, but like using a tin can or something, an empty tin can as like a tower, something like that, we all did, I'm sure. But like, this could be the next level. You could be like the super cool aunt or uncle who comes and is like, oh, Uncle so-and-so or Aunt so-and-so came by and they helped me build this, neat tower out of, Quaker Oats container, and we put plastic on it and stuff like that. And now I have a solid thing for me to play with on your playset, and they're going to have that memory. And also, be encouraged to use their imagination and build stuff with recyclable goods. And it's free, man. Like, that's the only real products I paid for is my glue and my paint. Like it's garbage, things that I got for free, things that I picked up or pulled off of things that have been sitting around for far too long. You know, it's not excessive at all. Not expensive at all, I should say. And Bjorn says you don't need to have a massive station either. Right. You could do just one shelf. Like I have these shelves back here. That's all going to be, but that's my choice. You could quite literally do one shelf and just make everything modular for photos, change it around, whatever you want. There's so much opportunity there. And for the fact that you can do some of this stuff for the low cost of $350, like I don't know why you wouldn't do it. And people go, well, I don't have a creative bone in my body. All right, well, you got two options, right? You can try because it's free. It's not going to cost you a damn thing. Or you go to somebody who's creative. You might hit them up and their name might rhyme with might rhyme with Flamin. You'd be like, hey, Flamin, maybe you'd make me something here and help me out with this because I don't have the creativity. And Flamin would be like, sure, let's work something out. So, I mean, your options are there. Or you could absolutely, hit up Chris Shaler or hit up, Fatback, one of those guys, and get something made up. Timbo's got some stuff going on, but it doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't, I'm just going to leave that on the chat for the rest of the night. Size doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be super expensive. It doesn't need to cost you an arm and a leg, and you can get real creative with this stuff. It can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. I know Anthony has dealt with my messages of me working on things and going, needless details, excessive details for no reason. But at the end of the day, I think it adds a little bit of value, and I like it. All right, so we got that paint laid in there. We're going to let that paint dry for a minute. And if this craft paint dries wicked fast, you know what they say in Boston? They say it dries wicked fast. So now we're going to clean the brush out. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting a dry brush of a gunmetal on this. Now we've got this, and anybody who knows Jason Jensen's kits, you can see it. You can also see it on camera. There are recesses where the black's going to stay in, and it's going to really pop. So I'm going to get one of my dry brushes out, one of the stiffer ones. Well, yeah, we'll go with one of the stiffer ones. And we'll get that. We'll do the gunmetal silver, plate mail, shining silver. There we go. So we go with war paints. I like to use the gunmetal as a base metal. I think it adds a certain je ne sais quoi, as they say in France. I don't think they say that in France. I think that's like something that English people were like, yeah, let's use that French word. But I think it adds a little bit of something. And then when you start to dry brush other metallics on top of it, it really pops. So we got our little bit on the brush. Take it off. And the other day I was watching something and somebody was describing dry brushing as when you take your expensive paints, you put it on your brush, and then you proceed to take most of it off with a paper towel and do it over and over again. And I kind of laughed at that because it's partially true. Like you do take your nice paints, and I am using a nicer paint here because they're heavier pigmented, and I'll be damned if it doesn't do a good job. I don't like this dry brush. Yeah, let's use that one. A little softer, a little rounder. That's better. Perfect. And it's just barely kissing the metal. It's actually showing up on camera way better than I thought it would. So that's a good sign. So we're just going to keep dry brushing, keep layering it on. You can sneak up on it. You do not have to slather everything in paint. When I first started painting toys, painting models, and just painting in school, my immediate thought was just, kind of like this: more bigger is more better. Like slap all the paint on, and then the paint would take forever to dry. It's messy. It doesn't look right because it's too sloppily added. Take your time, sneak up on it. It's a great way to get a good dry brush on without frustrating yourself and making your work seem so excessive. Just put it in black. Womp womp. Clean that off there. Back to the gunmetal. Probably a little heavier right there than I would have wanted to, but it's all good, baby. It's all good. Be cool. Maybe that's the panel. That's the corner of the panel where they got to pry it to get it off, so it's a little more worn. It's just showing, and it's inconsistent metal, which is what I like. It does look like I'll be home this weekend at some point. So if I'm feeling the urge, I may just do a random Saturday daytime stream. I'm not sure yet. There's as some of you guys know, I did mention it in my last stream. One of my very close friends, he did pass away last week. And so we're not sure what plans are for services yet. And also some of us just really want to get together and reconnect and, talk. And gentlemen, that's something I always say is if you guys are ever going through anything, I know especially guys, we get told a lot to just bottle up our shit and keep our feelings to ourselves. Don't talk to somebody, talk to your friends, talk to other people, bring it up. Don't keep quiet. You don't have to suffer in silence. And so that's one of the reasons I'm doing these streams this week is because I get to hang out and talk with you guys. It makes me feel a little less alone, and I appreciate you being here. And I get to pimp my my shirts at you. I get to go, hey, hit up that link that's in the chat. I appreciate that, Bjorn. I appreciate that. I also do have a Ko-Fi. I know some people don't like to do the subscriptions, but they like to do the individual donations for the channel. And whenever somebody does that, the dogs get a treat, the cats get a treat. If the cats are loitering in the room, cats get a treat anyway. They're vigilantes when it comes to treats. They hear a bag open that even remotely sounds like treats, and you're in the corner until you give them one. But that's a fun thing that we do here on the channel. And it motivates and helps keep me hydrated with caffeine or, delicious cold beverages. And also helps me pay for little oddball consumable things like hot glue, super glue. And can we take a second? I wish I had uploaded the picture. First, let me show you guys that. That's got that first coat on there. I want to let that dry. So on the back, you've got just a brown and black wash. But on this side, it's got that black. And then it's got that gunmetal on there. You see it catching light. We're going to put some more on there in a second. But I went to the dollar store, which is where I pick up a lot of my cheap craft supplies, right? Some of the stuff that I use, like the foam core, those boards, usually they used to be $1. Now they're $1.25. I get it. Inflation happens. I went into the dollar store last night, I want to say, completely out of it. I asked the lady who was restocking the shelves. I said, oh, it's, a lot of school projects or something. She goes, no, we haven't gotten those in. I don't think they're on our list anymore. Okay. So I go to the super glue section. They've done away with most of their $1.25 super glues, the little cheapy ones that I'm sure a lot of you guys get them. They're just really crappy cyanoacrylate, really runny super glue. Sometimes that's the glue that I need for the job. And they were completely removed from the shelves of the cheap ones. And now it's all Gorilla Glue and stuff. And it's damn, fortunately I have 5 or 6 of those in place, and I'm sure I'll hit up another dollar store somewhere down the line and find them. But it's interesting to see some of the the consumables that I use as an artist and a maker that have been there for years suddenly starting to dry up. Just a little interesting observation. Right, next, I think we're going to use. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. Appreciate that, Bjorn. Red, I appreciate that. And that's good of you to do that. And so I'm going to go shining silver, again, war paints. I'm just going to shake it up really good, make sure that that's, you know, ready to rock and roll. And I'm just going to hit some high points with this to really make them shine and sparkle. And then we're going to subdue them with some washes once this whole thing's put together. But this is the part that I really get a kick out of. And this is dry brush, but it's a heavier dry brush, right? If that makes sense, there's a little more paint on there. And I'm hitting the edges. As you can see, I'm actually working away from the center. And I'm making sure that I'm getting the corners, really spend some time in the corners where those screws are, or like they look like bolt holes maybe. Because again, that's where stuff. And then we'll just do since this is we're gonna call this down, right? It could up down. We're gonna call this down. I'm just gonna spend a little time dry brushing some character in there because people walk by, stuff scuffs against it, and you see all those high points that are really shiny. That's what we want. That's going to catch light in photos. It's going to look better. It's easily picked up on camera. So that was out of the way. All right, you know what we can do? While we've got this shining silver, we'll take this last bit of gunmetal, kind of tapping that together with the shining silver. Just get a little on the brush, and I'm just gonna be fun. I'm gonna tickle the waste bin. Just sneak up on it. Like I said, I don't need it to be slathered because it's going to get all kinds of other colors and stuff on it, but we'll use up those colors. We'll just hit some edges here and there. And this is going to get surrounded by, you know, different color caution stripes and stuff, but it'll add a little bit of character once we start adding other colors on top of it. There we go. Okay, so we took care of that. Let's clean off the dry brush. Now, I am admittedly a lazy son of a bitch with some things. Let's see here. I didn't see the panel board. I saw the pegboards. I saw the trays for it, but I didn't see the pegboard. Did see that from the Marvel Legends reveal. Yeah. I have some Citadel. I have some Army Painter. A lot of washes from Citadel. War paints. I have a lot of Vallejo too that I've been picking up here and there. And I like these Liquitex inks for washes. I know some people go crazy and paint with those. I haven't really experimented with that yet. And I also got some two thin coats and some speed paints from RB Painter. So I try out different things and I like them. I used Testors once or twice, and I just don't like I don't like their paints. I don't like their enamels either. I don't like enamel at all. If I can avoid using it, I absolutely do. Just a personal preference. I understand enamel has some good uses for like more things that are tactile that need to be handled. They're higher gloss. They'll shine better and last longer, but it's simply not. Oh, goodness gracious. Simply not for me. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So, clean most of that off. Let's give this, like I said, I'm real lazy when it comes to a lot of things. And one thing, that's just going to fall right down. Got to work on a permanent solution for that, but I don't have a, currently don't have a, oh, what's the word? An outlet on that end of the room. to make good use of this. So we're going to let that cool down. Great. Lazy. Anyhow, I am quite lazy. So now we're going to move on to the paint pens. It separates mainly craft paint. So I'm going to show you a trick. This isn't me being a smart ass or anything. You're talking about these Liquitex things. One of the things that I do before I shake it up is I just use the dropper to pull from the bottom of the pot. And I just do that. I do it so it blows bubbles. I slosh it around. And then I tighten that up. Shake the shit out of it, right? Just continue to shake it. So that color starts to leave the bottom, that sediment. And you can just keep going. You can also go as far as to put, they make ball bearings in here. They make ball bearings you can put in these. And I mean, obviously don't like whip it around, but you can whip it around and get some good stirring up. And then you've got good heavy pigmented ink. But that's just one guy's tip. Also, you could, if you have the right type of rack, store it upside down for a day, let all that shit fall off the top, bottom, and then shake it up. But yeah, shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right, let's bring you guys down again. All right. So as I said, I'm a very lazy son of a bitch when I need to be, which is most of the time. And I have the steadiest hand of nobody. So we're going to do a little bit of experimentation here. Got red, got white in my hand. I think that's what I want for this. I want red and white. And we will do one more little trick here. Take out the silver pen. So I'm going to do a white border. Still border, same as I would with craft paint, separated as I'm using it. That's probably because it's ink. Like that's just a straight up ink, Liquitex acrylic ink. And it comes in an eyedropper bottle. It's transparent too. You got to make sure it's transparent. And I use that as a wash. I will thin it down with a little bit of like paint water usually, unless I need it to be like that color specifically. Then I just use clean water right on the palette first, drop that in, and then use the brush to mop it and mix it. So, but we're going to take this white. We're going to go ahead and just put a single coat of white on here because this is going to get all chipped and weathered to hell. I am no, I could be super steady and precious, but with what we're going to be doing to it, it doesn't really matter. So, and I'm just putting that on there. And I like these paint markers. Once I really figured them out, these Posca, excuse me. Once I figured them out, I really like them. For a while there, I was having trouble using them. I was either flooding the tips or not getting enough paint. And I was getting inconsistent flow. But once I figured out like how to notice when they started to run or notice when they were starting to lose pigment, when to pump the brush, then I figured it out. So now I dig them. And they're pretty inexpensive too. I get these at my art store, Eileen's, which is in Albany, New York. Or technically, I guess, Cahoe's. But it's they're very inexpensive there. I like going there. Maybe they're I wouldn't even say a couple of bucks, maybe $1 more than getting them at like Walmart or Michael's or Joann's. If you have those places, by all means. But if you can get them from a local art store, like why not spend that money there? Because a lot of those stores, number one, need it, and number two, a lot of them have art classes that they put on for free, or they do, they admit a certain number of people for lower cost to participate in these classes. And I think that's cool, and it's a good use of resources. So now I'm putting on the second coat, just going over it. Make sure you get the coating on there. All right, so we got that little rectangle done. Gonna let that dry. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this red and I'm just gonna add some horizontal stripes. Red and white might look a little bit like candy, but all right, hear me out. What if we did red? And no, because that's going to look like McDonald's. Son of a bitch. All right, here we go. Yeah, we're going to do red and white. I'm just going to make sure that it looks cool. And if it doesn't look cool, it doesn't look cool. And I can always paint over it. That's the wonderful thing about paint. So I guess we'll start right here. You guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll hit that corner with some red. Okay. And if I suck at this, which there's a pretty good chance I will, we can always weather it and hide a lot of this shit. Like, I'm not the best at drawing straight lines and angles. You know. I just do what I can. Okay. And I don't know if these are exactly perfect, but we'll weather it up. We'll hit it with some, a little bit of touch up a little later. And if that's the case, it should look good. And if it doesn't, I'll blame Bjorn. Sorry, Bjorn. Okay. And that's the one thing I do like about these paint markers is I'm not pushing down. I'm not really putting any pressure on them, just letting the tip move across the surface, and it's doing the job. Good. Good. Your main gripe with community of crafters is that, because you said, I gotcha. No, in this case, I'm talking about the color red. And just get a little bit on there. It does look like this is starting to fade on me a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and depress the tip, get a little more paint flowing to it. Perfect. And I can go back and touch up those other spots when I'm done here. Yeah, that's already infinitely better. And I could have taken the time to mask this off, and there was a time where I would have. But because the amount of weathering and stuff that I do on certain things like this, it doesn't serve me any purpose other than me being anxious about what I'm doing. So just go ahead and put that on there. I effed it up a little bit, but what are you going to do? Nothing. In the words of Conor McGregor, you'll do absolutely fucking nothing. Okay. Just hitting some of these with a little more red on them. Give them a little more pigment. Make them pop a little bit more before we go back over them and weather them. Clean up some of the edges. Yeah, hell yeah. Could have been worse, guys. Could have been worse. If I really wanted to be anal about it and go and clean some things up, I could grab a black marker and just go over the edge of these lines, which I might do. I think it'll just break that up enough. So let's go ahead and grab the black marker. Go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and just put a black line there, black line there. There we go. I don't know if this made things any better or worse, but it's on there. Actually does make it look a little more Christmassy, but whatever. It's emergency tape. It's going to get weathered. Somehow I think the design will survive. So yeah. So we got a little caution stripes on there. Oh, what's up, Audi? What's going on, Audi? All right, there's no force that I need to trust in for this. I just need to trust that when I start to weather this with a silver pen and chip at certain areas, looks like it's seen some things, been to hell and back. Who's hell and back? Nobody for that joke, really? All right, that's fair. Get a little more silver flowing to the tip. Here we go. Nice. So this is coming out a little better than I thought it would. So we got some weathering and paint chipping on there that helps break that up. Never gets old. Okay. Again, I'm just using this this silver to hit a couple of spots, break up some of the lines, add some chips around the edges, break up the color and the concentration of pigment. Give myself an excuse for some of the crappy paint work that I did. There we go. So we got that kind of dinged up. It's not perfect, but it does the job. Now, I want to take my yellow paint. Shake this up again. I like it's more shitty sticker. I can't make this camera zoom in on my laptop. Trust me, I've tried. I'd love to, but until I get a web camera / if I upgrade my phone, this is about as good as you're going to get. I mean, I could probably go like that with the lid, but then I can't read what you guys are saying. I mean, who needs reading? Me, I do. I need reading. But I'll do that for you for the time being. But, you know, if you want, anybody wants to speed that process, there is Ko-Fi and there is a Patreon in order to help with the accelerate getting a new phone or a new webcam to improve the streaming. But I'm just taking this yellow, going around the inside, because when I put the when I slap this lid on, I want that yellow to look almost like it's, you know, lineup marks, witness marks inside of where the lid needs to go, and it'll poke out a little bit around the outside of the lid. Just a little visual interest. You might not even see it, but I'll know it's there and I'll feel a little better. And I'll also get a little of that paint up around the lip. I don't mind. I'm not losing any sleep. Yeah, you guys asked to see the paint closer, and then I move it closer to me to paint, so. To hell with you. Sorry, I'm not used to painting for people to see. It's still something that I'm getting used to. Sometimes I forget, even as I'm sitting here rambling on. It's more like I'm sitting and painting with a friend who, you know, may or may not be paying attention to what I'm doing, whereas you guys are like probably glued to the screen, hands in your popcorn buckets, or wherever else you put your hands. And yeah, so that's on there. And then this is where it's going to get fun, right? By fun, I don't mean fun. I mean, I'm probably going to screw this up. But I think for the caution stripes, I'm just going to do yellow caution stripes. So I'm using the white to make my lines where the yellow is going to go. And this will help the yellow pop. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. But I do like using these paint pens just because it's got like a brush built in. I don't have to put in as much effort. And sometimes when you're doing like repetitive motions like this, you want the least amount of effort to be put in on your behalf, I should say, with the most value. This looks like it might be hot garbage, but we're going to see. So these might be a little narrower than they should be, but whatever, we'll get there. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm going to pull this camera screen up so I can read. Yeah, the link's right in the chat. It's pinned. Famine Studios 262. Why Patreon give me a 262? I don't know. Cleaning your workspace, excellent. Always good to do. It's good for your mental health too, I find. Cleaning up the workspace. Happy accidents. All weekend cleaning up your workspace and playset. Then you got the thing that shall not be named. Ugh. Wait. Like the virus going around or what? Good time, watch little content, plus the site of hobby collecting. Very good people, very helpful and kind. Yes, I will reiterate that this is the nicest end of this hobby that I've encountered is the world builders and collectors. There's you know, there's always one or two people who are miserable shits in any hobby, and in any group space, but this one seems to have the least amount of miserable shits. So that's always appreciated. And, I've seen people come out of the woodwork to support each other. Um, People going out of their way to help somebody when they're trying to move toys or get rid of them or sell them or whatever. Like if they have an emergency come up, I've seen people help each other out with GoFundMe's, find pieces for things that they've been looking for, find grails, convention exclusives and stuff. So, I think I got one of those right here for you. All right. Yeah, I guess that would make a mess out of my workbench too. If I had one, unreal. Unreal. Truth be told, it may well be a regional thing that some people had these things that are getting rid of them, because I never saw them in the stores, even when I started looking, when I heard that they were a thing. And like Target.com said that there were a bunch in stock in my stores, and there weren't. Oh, we found them. Everybody get the miserable dunking tank out. But like, I never came across them, and I'm not seeing them in, marketplace or thrift stores or anything like that. Where some of you guys are like, oh, there were 16 of them when I was there on Tuesday. And I'm like, fucking fall down some stairs. Don't actually, but think about it. The next time you're on stairs, be like, ah, damn, did famine hex me? I'm going to have to keep working on it this way. Just going to give myself a little bit of room to rest my elbows there, or rest my hand, but if I do that, then I'll wind up smearing that white paint, and that's going to be worse than I thought it was. And you know what? I should have masked this. And I didn't. All right, I got an idea. Am I going to fill this in and paint this whole thing yellow and then black over it? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Are you guys going to say anything about it? No, you're not. No, you're not. Hey, nothing wrong with that. And again, I do my best to show you can literally do this shit with trash. This is a Pepperidge Farm Texas toast box that most of this is built with, and the rest of it's scrapped from models and different pieces of toys and old toys and stuff. So hang out on this end of the crew. I tend to do a lot of this stuff, or I do a lot of like remaking of lower end items into better value. I put paint on things, make it look a little better. So you're in the right neighborhood. You're absolutely in the right neighborhood. Okay. All right. We'll put that white away for a little bit. Set it aside. We're not going to use a white. We're not going to use a white paint pen. Little foam and all cardboard. Sometimes that's the way to do it. Play the Blues Traveler. Alexa, play Blues Traveler. cheat, we're going to dry brush it on using a soft dry brush. That's, dude, the original, anybody who says that their kits weren't made of 5-gallon buckets and even Stormtrooper kits before there were vac tables, they were absolutely 5-gallon pails. And even when people were making their own vacuum form tables, they were using 5-gallon pail plastic. So don't even sweat that. And the fact that you did that from 5-gallon pails makes it even more awesome. If anybody gives you any shit from it, any of those costuming clubs or anything, tell them to come see Uncle Fam and I'll take care of it. Okay. All right. So that's got the yellow on it. We're going to let that dry. Damn, that light's bright. Wow. Good. Good. Hey, pirates. Welcome. I'm doing some painting on a piece that's going to go inside of this building here on this side. So it's going to set in here. It's out of the way. Adding some caution stripes to it. Then we're going to weather it. But I'm letting that yellow paint sit, letting it dry up here. So now I think I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of turbo tacky glue on this and get this glued into place. That's great. A little bit there. Go. Caution. Little corner piece there. All right. We are not making love. That's on a different stream for a different amount of money. I'm just throwing that out there. Just like Bjorn asked for the foot pictures. That's on OnlyFamins. That's on OnlyFamins. Here we go. Cool. Whoop. And that's what we're cooking with there. Let's get some black stripes on the top with that marker. We're going to be smart about this. Allegedly. Out of there. Get out of there, you. There we go. We're going to say... Okay. Pirates of the Caribbean, Queen Anne's Revenge. Absolutely. Pirates are dope. This is going to be my little template. I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to hold that in place. Nice. Cool. All right. Hopefully you guys are seeing the vision here. And I could get out a paintbrush and do this part, but I'm not gonna. So I'm just gonna use the paint pen. Gonna follow this template because I don't like how sloppy those other ones look, but they will get really weathered up with pigments and stuff. I'll probably do it so excessively you'll barely notice that they're there, but it'll be a nice little thing that y'all knew that they were there. Right, right. All right. 3.75 Mandalorian to fight for the Queen Anne's revenge. Or did I miss something in the chat? Which on occasion I have done. Okay. Okay. I mean, you're not sane. None of us are probably like sane, but we're doing better than some, I think. So yeah, this is my little cheaters template. I just picked an angle and made it, and then followed that angle. Oop. Okay, so we got that there. Color that corner in. Cool. So now I'm just gonna tilt the camera up while I do this and chat with you guys, see what's going on. We're not insane, we're crazy. I think there's a little bit of madness in all artists and in most art. And I think there needs to be. You know, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I, do terrible things that I'm mad, but it's sometimes you just, you get down in the dumps or you have those tough thoughts and, sometimes shit gets confusing and whatnot, and you just get into a bad way, and you put that into your art and you can make something beautiful out of it. Look at how many of the world's greatest artists were troubled or thought that their art wasn't worth a damn, and now it's some of the most valuable artwork in the world. People use it as a basis to judge other artwork or to make comparisons to. So I think there's a little bit of madness in every artist and in their work, and you know, sometimes it shows through. I think mine shows a little bit more when I do my Halloween and, you know, horror work. I tend to embrace that little bit of tough strangeness that I have and utilize that for building things and designs and whatnot. But yeah. All right, look at that. We got caution stripe across the top of it, so people don't bang into it. I'm going to repeat that pattern on the sides and then get that put in there. We are crazy and not stupid. I don't know. Sometimes I'm pretty stupid, but I'm also crazy from time to time. So we'll do a little more. We'll do the white on the sides real quick so I can get this yellow on here, just like we did on the other side on the top. Liking the way that this is turning out, aside from those red stripes, but you can't win them all. I should have done the template in the first place. That was on my fault. Like Taylor Swift says, it's me. I'm the problem. And we'll go from there. I'm not going to do caution stripes on the bottom because that should be glued down. But I did put that black paint on there, like I said, just in case I get an angle or something like that where you might see a little bit of it and it adds a shadow underneath. So that's why I did that. Okay. Let those dry up. And I guess while that's doing that, we'll take the old silver paint pen like we did before, and we'll make some dings and nicks on here. White dry, really hit it on the corner, some of the edges. And you just know people walk by and set things down on there, set their drinks to stop underneath the cover, so you want to make sure that you take that into consideration, or maybe they slop down a bag or set a gun down and just chip away at that. There we go. Every once in a while, I'll do something like that where I'll just do like a little pull of metal metallics and it adds that like lightly scuffed look, but you still see like something happened there. There we go. Okay. There we go. So it's got some dings and scratches on it, adds a little character. And what I'll do is I'll just take this marker, maybe follow some of those dings and scratches over the lip. Just adds a little bit of continuity. Condoleezza Rice? I don't know. Okay. So we'll use what we got of that yellow paint left. And the reason I put the white down is because it makes it way easier to paint something yellow when there's a white color underneath it. Just pigments. If you start with a warmer or darker color underneath it, it's going to take forever to build up to like that dandelion yellow that you want for your caution striping. And if you start with a lighter color, it's easier and you use less paint. So you're putting less pigment on your brush and on your project. There we go. That's on there. Give it one more pass. And then I'm just gonna use some of this yellow here. Hit this Wally door. Make it look like it's all chipped up and used, because it is. Nice. Cool. So that's starting to get a little bit of color on it. We'll do some of the detail work. We'll paint the handle and all that stuff. But right now, let's focus on getting some. Yeah, let's get some paint on this. Let's get some lines on this bad boy. Okay. Yep. And this I'm gonna do with the camera up, so I don't have to focus on showing off. Okay. Nothing beats your wife. Okay, I get it. Nothing beats my wife and kids but me. Sorry, flashbacks to living in Pennsylvania. We here at Famine Studios do not take shots at people from Pennsylvania. We are just reflecting on life experiences. Yeah, that's true. I still always see the benefits in therapy. I've been to and go to therapy. I think that everybody should go to therapy. I think, I know therapists that need therapy, but I think everybody should go to therapy if they're able to. I think the world would be a lot better of a place if people had an outlet to discuss things and work on their, issues that, maybe they wouldn't address totally or in the most correct ways before. Not saying you need to, but I'm saying it's not a bad thing. Hell yeah. Congratulations, man. I've been working on getting a new one, and by working I mean looking at names and seeing who I want to do therapy through. And I actually tried at a couple of places with some of them. Some of them don't take my insurance, which I think is rude. But it is what it is. I will find somebody and I will get back into the swing of things. My last therapist was an old lady who did not understand my lifestyle or my hobbies or, some of my issues. And, that's going to happen. So I just elected not to continue using her as a therapist because she was ancient and she didn't get certain things in my life. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Hey, that's right. Fucking Tony Soprano. He had a fucking therapist. You think you're better than Tony Soprano all of a sudden? Ay, fangulo. Get a load of this guy. He thinks he's better than Tony fucking Soprano. What, now no fucking ZD? There you go. We are certainly in a renaissance, that is for certain. Excellent. Very cool. I'm very good. I think I've seen, I want to say 4 in my lifetime. Two of them were when I was a kid. And then 2 of them have been in my adult life. And they are great resources to have. And I know not everybody has that resource. Oops. So I try not to be verbose about it or braggadocious, but it is something that is helpful and helps a lot of people. And I always recommend, if people get the opportunity, even if it's to go once a month, or once every so often, just, it's good for you. It's good for you. Hey, may the force fucking be with you. And yeah, having somebody who's completely outside of the situation is always an excellent source, an excellent resource to have. Somebody that you can bounce an idea off of, or some thoughts to see if maybe, because you go to your friends and not for nothing, I love all my friends and my friends are really good, and they want to say what they think is best for you and they want to help you, and sometimes friends aren't willing to give you that tough commentary that a therapist might. So good idea. Okay, we got that all weathered up, chipped up there. Go. That end is up. And so we've got some caution stripes on this bitch. Now, I think I'm going to use the silver on the nuts, and then we're going to weather this and going to set it aside, let it dry. So I'll go, oh, that's barely noticeable, but it's noticeable enough for me. Good. That's excellent. That's excellent to have, and it's a good thing to have friends that'll do that for you. And I just put a little bit of that ink there. I was going to use an eyedropper, but I always tend to over drop because I'm only weathering a small area. And then I'm just going to take this cheapo paintbrush, wet it with some paint water, thin that down to the consistency that I want. And I'm just going to go ahead and Brush it on here. A little heavier in some areas, lighter in others. Get it all down in this groove here. Okay. It's starting to look way more in keeping with my world now. There we go. Starting to mute up some of those colors, which I like. You guys know me. Just going to give that a dirty little wash real quick. Oh, that really made the yellow yellow, too. That's nice. Damn. Look at that. Compared to that, hell yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just use up the last of it, shall we? And that's the tiniest little wash I just put on there. Boom. And I will do some detail painting on this Wally door. It's just I don't want to do that right now. Yeah. But it is good to have friends who are willing to give you the tough the tough truth about things. That's always something that's there, and I never discount that. Never discount that gift of friends that do that. But like I said, sometimes your friends just want to tell you what they feel you want to hear. Maybe you think you need to hear, and that's also good to have. But just sometimes therapy is somebody who's completely removed from the situation and gives you a different perspective. And that is okay too. And right now I'm just hitting a couple of those silver spots to make them a little more fresh. Make them stand out a bit. Like I said, give these screws a little kiss from this marker. This paint pen. Boom. Actually, we'll go ahead and get a little detail work in here while I've got this pen out. And how will that go? We'll go one step further. All right, I put away the silver. And I got a bronze Sharpie. And I'll just do the base plate here on this in bronze. Why? Because I can. Doesn't need to make any sense as to why. Right, guys? Right. Okay. Pirates, what is your you guys have a show tomorrow. What's the topic? Whip Wednesday. Fill these guys in while you're here. Por favor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Many thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Let me do a little bit more. I don't want to use this, but I should use it before all the paint dries up inside of it. I just wrote that song. Copyright Famine Studios, what year is it? 2024. It's going to be on my album. You guys know me. I have feelers in many fires, or pokers in many fire, whatever the expression is. Irons in several fires. There we go. Good job. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Yep. Yes, this is true. this is literally that is one of those things where they want certain type of weathering, and they have requirements, the CLRs they call them with their costumes. I tend to weather for film and photo. I don't weather for costume and stuff. I weather for a specific reason because I know what cameras pick up differently than the human eye. And sometimes it seems excessive. And like if you go and look at film props, like honestly, if you ever get to go and see shooting props from movies, they are fucking terrible. Like they're not the work from the artists are terrible. The paint jobs are garish and bright. Like the weathering that's in the cracks and crevices is so thin. You look at it, and you're like, Jesus Christ. Then you look at it on film, and it's like, oh, it looks differently on film. So that's that's a great thing. And also something I like to do is I will take my work and I will look at it through my camera lens on my phone and take some pictures of it just to see how it differs from what I'm seeing with my eyeballs, which is what I'm doing now. Taking a couple of pictures for Patreon. And how's my Mando kit? Sitting in stasis. I have not gotten to work on any of it lately, but that's fine. This weather is not conducive for me being out in my garage where I need to do a lot of that. You guys are reviewing Fatback Stations with Dago. Yeah, give them a follow if I haven't already. Cool Greeblies, the community sent us. Excellent. So make sure you guys go watch Whip Wednesday tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube over on Pirates channel. It is both Pirates and Lord of Thane. So do go check them out. I don't want to use that. Put that away before I use it. What color? We'll do white. Because it'll stand out. Nice. I'm doing the handle in white, and I'll do a couple of washes on it to take that brightness down. But I think that adds a little something. Makes it stand out better, that's for sure. And then we'll do... let's see. I want to use a color. I use red for the time being. Let's see. We'll put red on the tips of the handle. You know, like one of those warnings like, hey, don't snag yourself on this. We'll make this a red light. I'll put some varnish on here or something like that a little bit later. Once this has really had some time to soak in and dry up. So that it looks like a button. Nice. Your favorite time of the week is 6 p.m. So when the show's over? Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Look at that. Picking up subscribers here, left and right. That's what I want to see. Support each other in the community, guys. That's something we all can appreciate and we all need. And I'm sure I don't speak for Pirates, but I can certainly tell I'm sure the sport means the world. So make sure you guys support each other and be good to each other. That's what matters in this day and age. And I appreciate you guys being here today. Like I said, it's been a hell of a week. Probably not going to be the greatest week ever, but we're here. We're doing the thing, and we're above ground. Let's see. Toy Squad Mondays, Famine on Tuesdays, You and Thane on Wednesdays, Dom on Thursdays, and me, Rad, on Fridays. Look at that. I am actively taking over 3 days a week. Vicious. It's vicious. It's a tough cycle, but you know, that's showbiz, baby. I do some television. Rarely do television, but usually do interviews and stuff for people. I do hosting for cosplay competitions, stage work, things like that. I've done weddings. I can officiate weddings. I love talking. I don't ever shut my gums. I flap my gums as much as I can. Any opportunity I get, which you guys have seen. So being on that many days is nice, and it's good for the heart. Yep. And it's like they say on Firefly: if you can't walk, or you can't run, you walk, and if you can't walk, you crawl, and if you can't crawl, you find someone to carry you. And be the person Mr. Rogers would be proud of, whether that's Steve Rogers or Mr. Rogers, the TV host. That's up to you, but you want to do that. So look at that. That's dope. And that's going to go right in here. It's going to cover up all that open mess. Oh, yeah, you guys can't see that, I think. That's how stupid I am. Oh, boy. That's just going to add that little way there. I like that. I'm happy with that. Hell yeah, let's turn that this way so you can get a better look. Look at that. Hell yeah, that's going to be great there. And then I've got for Greebly, that'll probably be like a little, maybe a light or something. I don't know yet. But I've got this battery case that I pilfered off of an electronic that wasn't using it anymore. I'll paint that up, probably attach it to one of the pillars on the inside. But what I'm going to be doing this week and posting over on my Patreon is building the back wall and building the sides for this, because this, I want it to be mostly enclosed so that the characters are safely contained while they're up there in their world, while they're doing things. Let's see. I see some comments in the chat. Oop, knock that over. Whole thing's scrap. Throw it away. All right. Let's see here. There you go. I wouldn't be the town crier. I don't like telling news because, yeah. Get off your ass and do another video. You can stay on your ass while you do a video. A lot of my videos involve me sitting on my ass, so you can do that. Thank you, Justin. Red, appreciate it. Hey, if you and Thane can run longer than the hour, I know he does. He's on international time, so it's tougher for him. But you know, if you guys can run longer than an hour, it's okay. It's the way to do it. We're here at an hour and a half. I'm just now wrapping it up because I have 3 puppies that need their dinner, and one of the puppies needs her eye medication put on. So let's see. Thank you, Pirates. Would I consider selling that when it's finished? No, I'm not going to sell this one when it's finished. I could certainly make something similar if I wanted to do a commission. I'm not sure if I want to do commissions right now, but that's something we can certainly talk about if that's something you're interested in. This is going to be utilized. It's going to be the first building over here in this section of the mountain that is going to be the cliff face that runs alongside Gimmick Starport. There are buildings inside the mountains. There's lore. You'll see. But right now, that is a nay on that one. Thank you, TAR. Tar. I'm going to call you Tar. I hope that doesn't offend you. And Ship Pirates someday feel like show goes by so fast. Yeah, shows go by fast. And Wednesdays, I do have to watch the replay because I do have plans on Wednesdays every day after work. But their shows are fun. And I always throw it on the TV and let the dogs watch it while I'm out. So you guys are getting the view, and then you get a secondary view from me. But with that said, if you are new here, it's your first time watching, or maybe you're catching the replay while you're working on some of your stuff, please feel free to click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, enable that bell notification. Apparently it works now. YouTube maybe fixed the problem with the bell notifications. Like the video if you haven't already, or on your way out. I will once again show off my gorgeous friend wearing my shirt because, that's me wearing my shirt, and I don't look as good as she does. So go check that out. That link is right in the description of the video. Way better than me. I look like a shoe. and she watches, she streams on Twitch. Her name is Indie Bird. She does a lot of gaming, indie games. Right now, I think she's playing through Alan Wake, and she does Spicy Fortnite on Sundays, where it's, just pretty much no holds barred chats. We keep it respectful, but we have a little fun. I do tune in when I can. So if you can, throw her some love. Also over on Instagram, she is at CosplayBird, BYRD. So go check her out there. Be kind. If not, I find you and I don't know, I'll do something mean to you. And I've got that Patreon. You guys know I've got the banner scrolling across the screen. It's Famine Studios 262. We're building worlds better over there, and it is it's fun, I really like what we're doing. Already got a great community over there. I've got 4 people so far set up. I'm posting pictures and posts every day, giving details, bits of lore. I'm going to go ahead and drop her. Let's see here. I'm going to drop her Twitch stream link in here. And that's it. Thing can't do the hour difference. Yeah, hey, that is it is a difference for him for the time. But as far as glue that I've been using on the foam, anything that touches the foam, I've been using Eileen's Turbo Tacky glue. This is my preferred glue. I don't like to use hot glue on that foam, although I will on little things, especially when the glue gun is set on cold. But love the Turbo Tacky glue. And then also for any of the plastics or woods that are on here, I do utilize CA glue, cyanoacrylate super glue, and I use a Zap Kicker or where is it? An accelerator, a spray accelerator, and it does the job. So make sure that if you use that, just, be aware if you're going to spray it where you're pointing it. It's probably not toxic, but you don't want to get it in your eyes and you don't want to get it in your mouth. And if you got little critters or little people running around, wait until they're not in the area. But that helps it set up instantaneously. Once again, real quick show off. Aegis Station sent me some of these lovely little guys that he's got going in his store over on his page. So hit him up for these. They're highly affordable and highly adorable. I love them. I love their lifeless little eyes. And then I got a S-ton of doors that are going to get painted up, textured, weathered, and installed over time. So super excited about those. So, and yes, you can use sodium bicarb as a kicker, an accelerant. You can actually thin it with water, shake it up. I just find it really plugs up my sprayers real fast. But yeah. All right. Hey, thank you for stopping in, Tuna on Rye. I hope you have a good evening. Watch the stream if you're going to catch the replay. Otherwise, guys, I'm going to dip out. Like I said, got to feed the dogs. Got to make sure Rosie gets her medication. I appreciate you. Hit up the Patreon. Even if you sign up for the free one, it's a great way to keep track. Otherwise, be well and too sweet me, my friends. Be good. Thanks again to my patrons.